Hi, this is Lee with learningwithlee.com. We are going to work on images today. Just do a quick little setup of the page. Ugh, I can't type and talk at the same time. I'm not going to put a lot on here. We'll go ahead and put a title, which is right title. We'll cheat and go fast today. You can start from scratch and make up a full page just to practice everything. We're going to call this images. That's what we're learning about today. Capital letters always nice. Oh my goodness, I really can't type today. Oh, I got these braces on my hands because I work so hard on my wrists. In my way of typing. Okay, so we're going to add an image today. And an image, we don't write out the word image. The tag is IMG. What we're not going to do is this. We're not going to make an opening and closing tag because for an image there's no words here that we're going to put on the page. Right? We're just putting the picture on the page. We're not putting words there. So we are going to get rid of this. We just need this one tag. It's going to close itself. It's a self-closing tag. So it kind of opens up here, this little tag, and then over here it closes. Okay, and now we put the image in like we did a link with an attribute. Right? The feature of this image is, this link we're going to give it. So source. We don't call it a hyperreference, even though we're going to link to the picture. We call it the source. So the source of the photo, and we tell it where it is. I'm going to grab this picture from the blog. I'm going to grab it from here and put it in. Put in a link, and we put quotation marks around it, just like we did with for links. We put quotation marks around it. What's inside the quotation marks is called a string. A string is just a group of characters. It can be letters, it can be numbers, it can be symbols, it can be spaces. And so the quotation mark says this all goes together, this is one thing. Right? All this gobbledygook in here, that's all one thing. It's the source. All together it makes the source. So let's just leave it at that just for a moment and look at it online. That's not it. Dun, dun, dun. Save as. And let's get it up there. Ta-da! Wait, it looks different, doesn't it? What's different about it? Don't need too keen observation skills to see that it is much larger. We can control that. When we do our design code, we'll be able to control it as well, but we can do something about it right now. I'm not going to we're going to say width equals that, height equals that, and then save it, Control S, reload, ta-da, now it's smaller. Okay, let me show you that code. So just right when you have an equal sign, it's assigning the right side to the left side. So it's telling the width to be 825. Now this is measuring in pixels, right? Little dots on your screen. The height is 510 pixels. Now you can put quotation marks on these. It'll work just the same, but you don't need them because a number is seen as one entity. It's one thing all in itself. No matter how many digits it has, it's still one number, and the computer knows that. So you don't have to put quotation marks, but it's not going to hurt anything if you do. If you want to just do that for consistency to make sure you remember. I'm going to add one more thing to our pictures. Whenever you do a picture, the right thing to do is do something called Alt. So HTML and CSS course book with notebook and laptop. Some kind of description of what the picture is. Okay, now we reload the page. Nothing's changed on the page. It's one of those things that's not going to show up anywhere, right? It's not between an opening and closing tag that's going to show up on the page. It's you know, it's part of the code, so it's just something the browser keeps to itself. Again, what that's for is if, just like the navigation, we talked about this a little bit with the navigation, like we call it the nav, even though we don't need to label it that, we label it navigation so that if your browser is reading it to someone, it knows what to say. So a blind person looking at your website is not going to know what the picture is unless you tell them with words. So that alt text serves two purposes. So one is for the handicapped, makes it more accessible. Okay, so the computer can read to them that text that's there to describe the picture to them. But also, if maybe like the image, there's some problem loading the image on the page, which I'm sure in your life you've seen, you know, blank space where a picture was supposed to be, that text can show up so it can tell people what's supposed to be there so they're not missing anything. Alright, so you should go and make a full web page, put a heading on, put this inside a div, right? Maybe you could make a div with an ID of gallery and then add some more pictures. You can just find pictures online. When you start making stuff, you need to be careful about public domain images. I can tell you one good website for finding lots of nice images. It's called Pixabay. And all of these images are free for you to use. So, and there's this, you can search, you don't have to just scroll through. You can search for a certain thing that you're looking for. And then you can just grab the address for right now, copy image address, and put that into your code. Later, what we'll be doing is you'll be downloading it, you'll be saving it to your project and linking to it within your project instead of using a web address for that. And we will get to that, of course. But next time, I think we're going to add videos before we do more with images. All right, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.